Welcome. You're watching this video because you want to learn about more design options for print, digital, and D2L. This workshop is on the design for success. In D2L, whatever you do in your course, if you use a template or not, I suggest starting off with a welcome module. And in that welcome module, I would suggest putting a welcome page, talking about the class, what they're going to learn, how they can find things, a syllabus page, a virtual office page, and a general questions section. The general questions section is where I ask students to post questions that everyone else should see. If someone emails me a question on this side and I feel it should be in the general questions, I will take that question and I will put it there and I will respond to it there as well, in addition to responding to their email. I also suggest having an orientation module, and this is where you give them some sort of orientation to D2L and to your course, a course tour, an intro to the technology that you'll be using, something like the Yabla, VoiceThread. Are you doing telecollaboration, and how are you teaching them to use those technologies? Then I suggest your course content modules. You can use those based on weeks, chapters, or topics. I suggest weeks because students have more of a desire to have something that is weekly. They completed something, they're done, they move to the next section or the next week. For them, it's a check mark. I did this week 1, I'm in week 2. It is up to you, it is a choice. It's also based on the type of course that you're using and teaching as well. Now, inside of those modules, you will likely have a lesson, your materials, your assignments, and you may put rubrics. Those are all the things that you need to review each semester. Did you put these in for the next semester? Are you ready for that semester? Did you update your dates? Do you need to restrict your time release of materials? Is week 2 hidden, but week 1 is active and available for students? The online and hybrid tips that I have, no matter what level of a language you are teaching, I suggest having the first discussion in week 1 or an orientation in English where they introduce themselves. It's natural for them, they talk about themselves, they confidently use their voice. In the second week, that's where you can figure out if a woman is using a man's voice or a man is using a woman's voice compared to the first week. That can happen where it kicks in later, it's their final, and you question their audio on their final, or their midterm on their final, or just their oral presentation. If you did that first week, you already have a better idea of what their voice should sound like. I also suggest doing some sort of orientation to assignments where their assignment for the first week is not content-based. It's just, can you post an image to the Dropbox? Great. You can obviously post any paper that I ask you to on time, and you can put it in that Dropbox. So later on when they post their first essay and they want a week extension or a couple day extensions, instead of saying there's technical problems, they've already clearly put in their materials into the Dropbox and you're working with them on the content. Scavenger hunts. I suggest doing these in the first week, just giving them an orientation to the D2L, and it's a fun way of, did you find everything in the syllabus that I asked you to read and I want you to know? Meaning, what are the deadlines for finals? What is important to you for your class that your students do naturally? Those are things that I would suggest putting in a scavenger hunt. I have made a course content template available. It has D2L templates in there. There's 4 of them that you can use, in addition to giving an idea of the discussion guidelines and other things. I'm going to give you a little tour of the D2L course template that I have available for you, but you'll notice that you have 4 options to use. The bottom one on the left is what I usually use for assignments or games and activities. The one on the right is the one I use for lessons, lesson materials, or lectures. In the D2L course template, I'm going to be giving you the tour of the template In a separate video, I'll show you how to edit the template pages, how to hide the pages, delete pages, and on another separate video, I'll give you how to perform a course copy. My biggest suggestion, even if you don't use this template, is to work in a sandbox. Make the content what you want it to be. Copy the course about 1 to 2 weeks before the spring semester, or if you're in the fall semester, before the course goes live with students. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me at any point. I'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching this video.